For most of modern history, the middle is where stability lived. Not the very top, not the very bottom. The middle. Stable jobs, predictable careers, houses, families, retirement. A place where ordinary people could build a life. For decades, the system produced it, and society organized itself around it. But something about the system is changing, and the middle may be the first place where it shows up. The industrial world created a very particular structure: a small group at the top, a large middle class, and a smaller group struggling at the bottom. Factories needed managers. Offices needed supervisors. Companies needed layers of administration. The system had depth, and that depth created room for millions of people to live stable lives. Not wealthy, but secure. For a long time, that structure held. But the modern system runs on a different rule: efficiency. Every system tries to produce more with fewer people. Every new technology promises the same thing: faster, cheaper, more efficient. And efficiency always looks for the same opportunity: layers, middle layers, the places where work passes through multiple hands, the places where decisions move slowly, the places where people coordinate other people. Those layers are the first targets. When efficiency rises, systems flatten. Fewer managers, fewer coordinators, fewer administrative roles. Work that once required 5 people might now require 2, sometimes 1, sometimes none. The top still exists, the bottom still exists, but the middle begins to compress. And slowly, quietly, the structure changes shape. Technology multiplies the effect. Software replaces process. Automation replaces repetition. Artificial intelligence replaces analysis. Tasks that once required entire departments can now be handled by a system, or by one person using the right tools. The result is not always mass unemployment, but something subtler. The system simply needs fewer people in the middle. When the middle shrinks, the consequences spread everywhere. Careers become less predictable. Promotion paths narrow. Stability becomes harder to find. For many people, the future begins to feel less certain. Not because society collapsed, but because the structure underneath it changed. The system is still standing, but the shape of it is different. The system is still running. Companies still operate. Institutions still stand. The structure still looks familiar, but underneath it, something is shifting, layer by layer, quietly. And if the middle continues to compress, then the system people believe they're living inside may not be the system that actually exists anymore. And the evidence is already visible. In many places, the loss of trust is becoming palpable. Trust in corporations, governments, financial institutions, the media, and public systems has eroded across much of society. Much of that erosion may stem from something people increasingly recognize: the persistence of obvious falsehoods. As Alexander Solzhenitsyn once observed, they lie to us. We know they lie to us. They know we know they lie to us. Yet they continue to lie. When people begin to see that dynamic inside their own institutions, trust does not simply weaken, it begins to collapse. Institutions that once anchored stability now face growing skepticism. And that is not a small change, because large systems do not function on rules alone. They function on trust. And when trust begins to disappear, the stability those systems once provided begins to disappear with it.